4.0 in actual? The simple answer can be, do you guys know about artificial intelligence? If you know about artificial intelligence, then that is going to work with cybersecurity. That means in coming time, cybersecurity experts or the ethical hackers are not going to be taken by the companies anymore. Um, yeah, Jaya, I think so that you are being in this field from a long time. So Jaya, can you let me know that what are the 12 steps from going into the cybersecurity, or what are the basic steps of going into the cybersecurity? Jaya.
Like first step is to be networking part,
Networking part,
and second
and
step
then
will be terminals. I mean Linux commands.
mhm. Is anyone having the idea that what are the basic steps of going into the cybersecurity? Anyone is having the idea? Is anyone having the certification in cybersecurity like CCNA or CCNP or whatever? If anyone is
No.
having any type of like the answer, then they can simply let me know. Okay. So as usual, Jaya had said that we are having the very basic step in going into the cybersecurity is that core networking. Now, what do you mean by core networking is that you should know that what are the networks which are working upon. Now, you must able to understand about the basic networking structure. Now, I don't want to tell everyone about the networking part, but what networking in simply means that core networking basically covers 80 to 90% of the cybersecurity or ethical hacking. Now, I'm not going to say ethical hacking because as usual, we are not learning about hacking. We are learning about being on a safe side opposite of the hacking. So yeah, if you are a cybersecurity expert, then of course you are an ethical hacker. So we are having the very basic step that is core networking, and after core networking we are simply going to work on the programming. We are working on the programming like the basic languages, the basic programming languages, that is basic and COBOL. If anyone of you know about the basic and COBOL, then that's pretty much well. Otherwise, if you are thinking that we are going to learn so-called Python programming language, so of course, but that is not here. Okay, we would be working on the basic and COBOL only because basic and COBOL right now the hackers are using the very old programming languages that are basic and COBOL. Yeah, so here is a fun question that what is the current news on the semiconductors? If any one of you is following the technological news structure, then you might know that what is like something the trendy news of the technology. Yep. Anyone is having the answer for the technology structure? What is the current trending news on the behalf of semiconductors? No one. Yep. No one. No one is having the answer. Remember that the video is being recorded, and yeah, this video is going to be shared with the Korean government. That means if like somehow you guys perform well, then you can also come to Korea. That depends on the structure of the government, as well as sometimes the students basically also ask for the junior students to come upon, or in the like something they can come and enjoy in Korea. So that depends on you guys. So you have to participate in the class. So whenever if any question is being asked, and if you don't even know, then you can simply say no. Okay. All right. So the current basic news is that right now the electronic devices like the laptops and mobiles are, the price of them is basically being increased. That means because of the COVID, the people are using more and more electronic appliances, which has increased the number of the semiconductors. Now, if you know about semiconductors, if any one of you is a student of hardware engineering, then the semiconductors are the basic parts of IC chips, which basically transits the current and the voltage and makes the laptop more and more fast, right? So as usual, the semiconductor is a rare item in this earth, but as usual, because of the COVID, the semiconductors are being used at the utmost. So maybe in coming time, if the scientists or the computer engineers hadn't find anything which can replace the semiconductors, then the laptops and mobiles will be, the price will be very, very high. Okay, so yeah, core networking is the very first step, and the second step is the programming language. The third step is, Jaya, what can be the third step? Or any one of you can simply answer. What can be the third step in cybersecurity? Anyone can answer. That's not like a limit. Only Jaya can only answer. Abhishek, Daneshwar, Rahul Yadav, Pradeep Kumar.
Learning of tools like Nmaps, etc. are used for hacking.
Ah, now we are working on the basic steps of the cybersecurity. We are not working on the tool section, ethical hacking, Nmap, Metasploit, and whatever. The basic steps is that, like, suppose if you're a student, if you're a kid, if you're a child, then you simply work from the kindergarten, then you simply go to the high schools, and then you simply do your secondary schools, right? You didn't go directly to the class 12th. So that is only here. If you want to become a cybersecurity expert or an artificial intelligence architecture or whatever you just wanted to become, that's totally depends on the basic steps. The basic steps is core networking, secondary is your programming, and tertiary. Anyone is having any idea?
Linux commands, basic Linux commands.
Basic Linux. Again, you are working on the Linux. Why everyone only, why every, I know that many of the people only wants to work on the Linux as an ethical hacker, and that's it. That's not unimportant. Linux is just like something 1 or 2% of the cybersecurity or ethical hacking. In fact, if I say Linux is just a waste of time, in fact, if I say Kali Linux is, of course, the known to be the best, but that's not true. You can use Ubuntu, Debian based Arch Linux, Parrot operating systems, and much more. Yeah, Raise, you want to say something for the third step? Yeah, Raise. Your audio is not connected, I think so, Raise. No voice raised from your side. Now, the third step is going to be the advanced code networking, or we can say simply CCNP. Okay, now core networking is the basic concept that you are simply going to understand about the networking protocols like OSPF, EIGRP, RIP version 2, EIGRP, and BGP, ACL, VPN, VP proxies. So these are the basic concepts of the core networking. And when we are simply going to work on advanced core networking, that simply includes the hybrid structure of the networks. That means now suppose if we are having a router which is having a VPN, and on the second time we are having another router which is having ACL. So how can you compromise these two devices? So this basically depends on the advanced core networking structure. We are not going to work or talk about all these steps today because as usual, it's not like something very compulsory. We have to just understand about what is a basic fundamental. Now, if any one of you is like something, we can say, I think so that maybe my voice is very loud. Okay. Any of you is having any idea that we are having very unique concepts in the coming time apart from cybersecurity? Yeah. Anyone know Industry 4.0? Is anyone having the idea on Industry 4.0?
Like big data, like
Okay, so I'm just going to discuss some things about for 5 minutes and then I'm going to explain or share my screen. Yep, Jaya, big data. What do you mean by big data? Okay, what you guys basically mean by big data?
the combination of all three structured data, structured, unstructured, and semi-structured data.
In a simple language, Jaya, If you want to explain the other, then how can you explain it?
Like for data, we have so many types, like text files, images, XML files. The combination of all the things,
Mhm.
any type of data, all kind.
Now, many of the people are having the doubts in Industry 4.0 that what is 4.0 or 4.0 in actual. The simple answer can be, do you guys know about artificial intelligence? If you know about artificial intelligence, then that is going to work with cybersecurity. That means in coming time, cybersecurity experts or the ethical hackers are not going to be taken by the companies anymore. The artificial intelligence is going to work as a cybersecurity expert. That means the robots are going to work as a cybersecurity experts in reality. So by chance, if any organization is facing any type of hacking or any type of breaching in their compromising in their data structure or whatever, the artificial intelligence is going to check all that thing that can be a virus, Trojan, and simply going to remove that. So this is going to be the future of the IT sector. That means there would be no cybersecurity experts in future. Of course, we are particularly learning the basic concepts of cybersecurity, but that all depends on your mind. Okay, the computer engineers are not like something, they are working to make robots, and the robots are going to take place everything. This is a common thing, and every one of us know that in future robots are being going to be the first main priority of every organization. Right now we are having three courses in this world which are trending and which are having a bright career. That is, one is your artificial intelligence, that means robotic field. One is if agricultural, that means space agricultural. Right now many companies which are having the contracts with the space organizations, they are having the plan to do agriculturing stuff in the space. So this is going to be the second most, and the third is basically of your blockchain. That is also being related with your IT sector. So any one of you know about blockchain? What is blockchain? See, Jaya is only giving the answer. Like he is only the one who knows about everything, and everyone is just like watching each other's face, huh? What is blockchain?
A cryptocurrency company.
Now I know that many of you are simply having the focus, the mind focus only on ethical hacking, that how can we hack Wi-Fi, how can we hack Facebook and Instagram and these all things. But in actual, I was also once at your position. I also wanted to become like this. I wanted to hack Facebook, Instagram, Twitter, and blah, blah, blah. But that is not like something good. If you are coming to the structural units or the study actually in cybersecurity, then you have to act like a mature person, not like something a kid. If you're having a mindset of hacking Facebook, then you are simply, your mind is like a kid actually. Okay, so make yourself mature. You guys are enough mature right now, right? Many of you are doing BTech, many of you are doing like something undergraduation or masters, or many of you are in class 12th and 11th as well. So make yourself enough mature and like something go into the basic concepts actually. Okay. The motive of this class is to do like something, the sessions which can help you out in the coming structure, right? So yeah, let's start like something with the very basic concepts. Now, if you don't know that what is like something, wait a while. I think so that everyone can see the screen. Uh, the cybersecurity or the IT sector is particularly having a very, very basic concept, that is mathematics. As usual, Industry 4.0, computational thinking and programming, or introduction to computing and mathematics, is totally different. That means if you are having the process of making programming, if you are good in Python, suppose if you are good in Python, then you should know mathematics, because by using mathematics only you can create some hacking scripts or like something, some cybersecurity scripts, that depends on you. So basically mathematics is very, very, very important in cybersecurity. As usual, I'm saying again, it's very important. If you are weak in mathematics, make yourself professional, because mathematics is going to be the very first thing which you are going to face in CEH examination right now. CEH version 11, I think so, is the latest version of the EC Council. So in that examination, you are simply going to receive mathematical problems also, or the arithmetical operations. So we are simply going to be working on the logical thinking and basic mathematics. That means, are you having the logical concepts or no in mathematics? If you are having the logical concepts being clear, that's pretty well, then you can simply work on the Python. After this, we are going to work on core networking as well. Okay, so now this is particularly the evaluation criteria. Your scholarships or everything is going to be working on this particular thing only. 20% of attendances, 40% mid and final examinations, 20% participation, and the final project. The final project is going to be the very, very important thing. That means you are going to work on your personal project without taking the help of the other people. And this personal project can be like something, final project is going to be received by me via email as usual. And if like your personal project is great, is good enough, then yeah, we would be inviting you to South Korea. That's not a big doubt. But as usual, the grade guideline is very important. If you are receiving C or D or even F, then you won't be able to enter the classes anymore. So you can say that till B you can come upon. If you're having C or D grade or F, that means you are failing in any subject, then you can't. Um, okay. So what is the number system? Anyone like having the very basic concept of the number systems? What do you mean by the number systems or the binary numbers? Yes. Any one of you know about the number system or binary numbers? What do you mean by that? And what is the importance of binary numbers actually in computer field? No one? Okay. Who is known as the father of computers?
Charles Babbage.
Charles Babbage. Okay. Um, from where the computing system started? From which? From how many years back? Which is known as to be the very first thing to be known as coming into the computational. Okay. So that is only the main issue with you guys, that you guys are simply focusing on something which is very far away. You guys wanted to study about 12th, but you don't want to study about the first and the second class. So that's only the problem with everyone. Okay, the very first thing which came into the computational was the telesticks. If you know about telesticks, this was like something which came around 20,000 to 30,000 years back. The telesticks were used to um, store the messages. Okay, store the messages, and that's it. This was the very first time when the computational thinking was, or logical thinking was arrived in the history. The second is known as a Babylonian clay tablet tables. Actually, you can search it on the Google, Babylonian clay tables. So this was like something came back around 3,000 years back, I think so. Yeah, 3,000 years back. And this was also used to store the messages as well as the numbers, actually. The third which came was Lovelace. Now, that is not Ada Lovelace, I'm saying only Lovelace. Lovelace trigonometric table, which is known to come into existence before 1500 back years ago. And this was basically meant to defeat the Russian trigonometric table. If you know about trigonometry, that's pretty well. Apart from that, when we were having Charles Babbage, so can anyone tell me the very first computer which was made by Charles Babbage? The very first computer. Anyone know about the very first invention of the Charles Babbage or no? The very first computer of the Charles Babbage is known to be the difference engine. I think so that many of you know about this name, difference engine. I think so that this came into the late 1840s or 1850s, I think so, yeah. And after that, we were having the Charles Babbage analytical engine, which was not made it because of the less funding in that, right? So this is basically the inventions of Charles Babbage. And then we are having Ada Lovelace, which is known as to be the first lady programmer, or Ada Augusta, in the history of the computation. I think so around 1860s or 1870s also she was working with Charles Babbage in analytical engine. And yep. And after that we were having the Herman Hollerith, which is known as to be the inventionary guy for the ENIAC and EDSAC. And after that we were having John Atanasoff computer, which is known as to be the very first electronic computer which is going to be working, John Atanasoff. And this computer was being designed by the company IBM. If any one of you know about IBM, that's great. Which is known to be the first Apple computer, and that was not like something Macintosh. If like you guys know about Macintosh, then that's good. The very first Apple computer which came into the history is Macintosh. After that, the very first bug in computer was found around late in 1975, I think so, 1980s. And that bug was like something, a fly, which was stuck between the wires. The very first generation of computers is known to be the vacuum tubes. The second generation, transistors. Third is ICs. Fourth is the advanced ICs. And the fifth is artificial intelligence, which is right now working upon. The major computers are ENIAC, EDSAC, and lots of more. So you should have a very basic knowledge in the history of computers, so that if someone is going to ask you, then you can simply let them know. These are the basic concepts of computers. Computers is not generally only for hacking and all. All right. So as we were discussing about the number system and the binary number system is like something. Okay, so we are having 1 minute 45 seconds left upon. You guys can simply join on the same ID again and again. Okay, only once more. And then we would be working on the number system and binary number.